Good morning, everybody. It's the 8th of February, and here's this week G10 FX Cloud Chart Market Review. Just a brief disclaimer here, as usual. And here is the G10 currency pairs that we'll be looking at from an Ichimoku Cloud Chart perspective this morning. So I'm going to jump straight into the Pro Real-Time platform. We're going to look at the Australian dollar, US dollar. So far, still grinding higher. We've broken through the cloud chart resistance here, then retested the cloud for support, and then it kept on moving higher. We're currently testing the old, just make that slightly smaller, these cloud levels here for support, and the next resistance zone is here at 77.32 and 77.58. So that's the next. These old highs is kind of the next resistance zone that we're looking at. Watching the MACD very closely for profit-taking opportunity here. But we had a nice strong MACD buy signal back in January, so this has been a nice cloud chart trade. The support here is at the top end of the cloud as well as the front end of the cloud here. And the fact that the front end of the cloud is trending up gives us indication that we might still get to these old highs as next resistance zone. So far so good, grinding higher with the top end of the cloud as a key support zone. The Euro US dollar, we had a nice little rally and a MACD from December up until the cloud chart resistance here at 108 spot 108.22, 1 spot 08.22. Resistance held, and then we had the reversal to the downside. We've had a MACD sell signal recently, and we have support. The next level of support is here at 106, and the bottom end of the cloud here at 105. Watch the front end of the cloud here as a major support zone at 106. But what is interesting that the front end of the cloud signify that we might have a uptrend in place. So we buy this pullback provided that the support comes in at the cloud chart level. If the euro dips below the cloud, then we have a problem because then we have a trend reversal, price actions below the cloud, that's negative, and that means that we have a downtrend in place. But so far within the cloud is slightly indecisive with the bottom end of the cloud as a major support area. So I'm looking for a rebound in the euro at 105, 106, but this MACD sell signal will remain in place up until we get to that support level. Okay. Sterling, GDP US dollar. Bit of water torture here. We are in a sideways moving pattern here, so the clouds is kind of flatlining with lots of support at the cloud, and it's wishy-washy back and forth between support and resistance here. The old highs here is resistance at 127 and 127.06. We have support here at 124, as well as the bottom in the cloud here at 123. Watch that 123.82 as a major support zone in the current move. So we are drifting somewhat sideways. Is not ideal for clouds. You need a strong trend for clouds to work efficiently, but the front end of the cloud here is indicating that we have an uptrend in place. So we're buying these rebounds and we sell the tests of the resistance to the upside. Now just watch, we've had a MACD buy signal. It's had a nice rally since then. We're now looking for a sell signal on the MACD to see if that's going to come through. If not, if the MACD sell signal doesn't come through and we have a successful retest of the rebound of the cloud, we might be going back up. Okay, so watch that very closely. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, still a strong uptrend in place since the MACD buy signal back here in January. We're now fighting old highs for resistance at 73's level. So these levels are significant resistance zone in place. Watch out for a MACD sell signal to come through. We can then see a drift down back to retest the cloud support at the top end of the cloud. So watch these levels if there's a sell signal coming through. US dollar CAD had a recent MACD buy signal and with potential upside back up to the bottom end of the cloud here, and that's the next major resistance level to watch. US dollar Swiss franc, successful retest of support here at the bottom end of the clouds. Lots of water torture there the last couple of days, but it looks like we might be going back up. Support held, had just had a MACD buy signal, so this rally could last up to the first level of resistance at 101, and then the next level of resistance at the cloud here at 1.0192, the top end of the cloud. Okay. US dollar Danish krone, a very similar situation as the Swiss franc, also rebounding from the bottom end of the cloud support. We've just had a nice MACD buy signal, and potential upside is the first level of support at 7.015, the front end of the cloud there, and the next level of resistance at 7.049, top end of the cloud. So watch that for the next level of resistance. And if we break past that level, we'll be retesting these old highs. US dollar, Japanese yen, on its way to test support at the bottom end of the cloud. We've had a nice MACD sell signal there that remains valid until we've had a buy. But I would be looking at going long on any type of successful retest of this cloud chart level here at 109.95, 110. So watch out the 110 level for a potential rebound in the US dollar Japanese yen. And if the rebound takes place, we will be going back up to the top end of the cloud here. Now, just watch out that the front end of the cloud is confirming and is giving us an early warning signal that we now have a downtrend in place. So if the price dips below the bottom end of the cloud here, we're now then in a confirmed downtrend because price action is taking place below the cloud. Okay. US dollar Norwegian krone. Price action below the cloud, front end of the cloud indicating a downtrend. We are now busy with a relief rally at the bottom end from old support levels back up to the bottom end of the cloud. So we've just about having a MACD buy signal, and first level of resistance there would be 8.443, and then the top end of the cloud here at 8.590. But watch out the front end of the cloud telling us you are buying counter trend because price action is below the cloud. So that's somewhat negative. So this is a short-term relief rally back up to the bottom end of the cloud where we will test resistance. Swedish krona, very similar situation. The price action is below the cloud's negative. The cloud is now the new resistance zone. We could see a short-term rally back up to the bottom end of the cloud to retest these levels. All support levels is now the new resistance zones. So we're looking at these levels for resistance. Okay, we've just had a MACD buy signal a couple of days ago, so it's now going to grind higher to the bottom end of the cloud. Back to sterling. It's going to be interesting to see if sterling is going to rebound further from the top end of the cloud. Okay, until next week, you guys, happy trading.